fills my glass with night. I get out of bed, drink it straight, no ice. Something's buzzing in the power lines, deep in the walls, where expectation hides. The pillow keeps her secrets when the day begins. At night she whispers that these walls are closing in. I bite my tongue, choke on her prophecy, plan my escape from all this destiny. Knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, I'm the one who's waiting for the world. It's never come, knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, if it opens, I will disappear into the sweet unknown. For 19 years I've been his little bird, his kingdom's only hope, his treasure in the world. What starts as love often ends up as weight, just 'cause it's gold don't mean it's not a cage. Knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, I'm the one who's waiting for the world. It's never come, knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, if it opens, I will disappear into the sweet unknown. You never scream, you never bleed, you never fall apart. The violence of vanishing is all that's stronger than your heart. Than your heart. Knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, I'm the one who's waiting for the world. It's never come, knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, if it opens, I will disappear into the sweeter. Knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, I'm the one who's waiting for the world. It's never come, knock, knock at the door, knock, knock, if it opens, I will disappear into the sweet unknown. So, one morning Medea wakes up and she looks out her window and she sees a man she doesn't recognize inside the walls of her father's palace. This is fairly unprecedented, so she sneaks past the servants and down the hallway and out the door, and she starts to follow him. She follows him all the way to her father's throne room. Jason was a young hero on a quest all over the world with a band of men he called the Argonauts, and he had arrived at Medea's father's kingdom to win the Golden Fleece, which was her father's prized possession. It was a mythical ram's fleece made of gold, and it had all of these incredible powers, but it came with a caveat that if you were in possession of the fleece and a young hero came and asked to win it, you had to grant him that opportunity. So Jason kneels before Medea's father, the king, and requests the option of winning the fleece, and her father smiles and names a task that is completely impossible and utterly fatal. So Jason has to decide whether he'll accept this charge and walk into death, or lose face in front of the entire court and all of the men who have come across the world with him on this journey. So he accepts the task, and he goes back down to the beach to make camp for the night and wait with his men and ponder his certain death in the morning. But Medea sneaks out of her bedroom, and she goes all the way down to the beach to meet him. And she says, "I'm the daughter of the king, and I have a certain ability with magic, so I'll make you a deal. I will cast a spell on you so that you are absolutely capable of winning this fleece and defying my father's expectations. But in return, you have to sneak me onto your boat and take me out of here with you when you leave." Walked to the edge of town, the sun burning off the mist. I stopped when I heard the sound of a dove singing his song. Came with a warning note, your life is about to break. Then you, in a traveler's cloak, standing there at the gate. I've been wondering when you get here, the one who would show me the way. Now it is clear in the lines of your shoulders, the contour of my escape. Trailed you up the palace steps. You moved like a bird of prey, slow, sharp, with a restlessness that gave your eyes away. I stood just beside the throne, held breath while your case was pled. The king smiled as cold as stone, sentenced you to your death. I've been wondering when you get here, the one who would show me the way. Now it is clear in the lines of your shoulder, the contour of my, I'll cast all of my spells for you. I'll watch over your every move. Dust crept through the city streets. The stars bleached the temple white. I knew just where you would be. You appeared by my side. I called on the goddess moon, cast you with her protective charms, told you how we'd escape your doom. Knew I'd leave in her arms. I've been wondering when you get here, the one who would show me the way. Now it is clear in the lines of your shoulders. Well, I've been wondering when you get here, the one who would show me the way. It is clear in the lines of your shoulders, contour of my escape. So, the next morning, the entire kingdom assembles at a field to watch Jason make a fool of himself and die. And much to everyone's shock, he completes the task that's been allowed him. And he walks up to Medea's father, who has turned an odd shade of green, and says, "Thank you, I'd like the fleece, your highness." And the king says, "Well, no. I never intended to give it to you before, and I don't intend to give it to you now, and you can just get in your boat and leave, and thank you very much." So Jason is furious, and Medea is furious, but they're surrounded by her father's royal guard. So Jason goes back to his boat, and he stews for the night. And Medea sneaks out again. After dark, she finds him on the beach, and she says, "I know where it is. It's hanging on a tree outside my father's bedroom. It's guarded by a three-headed dog, but I'll cast a spell on the dog so it goes to sleep. You climb the tree, grab the fleece, and let's get out of here." So they do it, and it totally works. And by the time Medea's father wakes up and sees the empty tree, Medea and Jason are on a boat headed across the bay and out to open water. So the king summons 50 of his fastest boats and starts to send them after Jason and Medea. And they turn around from their little dinghy and they see an entire royal navy like coming at them. So Medea casts this huge spell and begins to build a storm over the ocean. She's hoping that the storm will rage and beat all of the boats back, and that's how they'll escape. My city is ablaze with people seeing their dreams. Let the rain come down. 'Cause the hero stole the golden fleece, astonished the king. Let the rain come down. We're racing down the river to break out to the sea. Let the rain come down. But the regal fleet is waiting at the edge of the beach. Let the rain come down. Storms build that beat. Drive wind through the city streets. Let the world run wild. The king has sent his son to kill the rebel, and I let the rain come down. So I will not be kept as daughter, princess, or pawn bride. Let the rain come down. The hero runs our battered ship straight out to the sky. Let the rain come down. But the royal boats, like animals, creep closer from all sides. Let the rain come down. Storms build that beat. Drive wind through the city streets. Let the world run wild. Rain, drown the sun in blinding oblivion. So no one will stay dry. Stay dry. So, the storm beats back all the boats but one, and it's the boat captained by Medea's brother. He pulls up beside Medea and Jason, he jumps on board and pulls out a knife to kill Jason and drag Medea back with him to her father's palace. And before she can think about it, she's taken his knife out of his hands. My brother draws his sword to drag me back to his boat. Let the rain come down. And I do not see my knife until I put it in his throat. Let the rain come down. Storm through the field. Drive wind through the city streets. Let the world run wild. Rain, drown the sun in blinding oblivion. So no one will stay dry. Let the rain come, let the rain come. Let the rain come, let the rain come, let the rain come, let the rain come down. So Medea's brother is bleeding in the hull of the ship. But that doesn't mean that all of the guards that he brought with him aren't still fully functional with all their limbs. So Medea orders the Argonauts, the men on Jason's boat, to cut up her brother's body into pieces and sprinkle them in the water, because she knows that the men will have to stop by royal decree and pick up all the pieces of her brother's body, because his soul will never rest if his body isn't buried intact. So with this, the last ship stops, and Jason and Medea and the Argonauts escape. But the men are a little freaked out about their new house guest and her habits, and they convince Jason that Medea is cursed, and she will curse the ship and the journey and lead them all to death. So Jason, to placate the Argonauts, sails the ship to the island of Circe, who is a prophet and a healer. And Medea goes and kneels before Circe and asks to be cleansed of this terrible deed. And Circe washes her clean, but warns her, if you ever use your magic again, it will be your ruin. So Medea promises she'll never use the magic again. And she and Jason get back on the ship, and they sail through the bay, and they discover for the first time that they're actually completely free. We are everyone's news, we are everyone's irony. With the wind at our backs, we the weak have outmatched the king. All his army behind, all the lives we will never lead. Wipe the earth from our hands, greet the sun and the open sea. My brother the prince, bleeding at my feet. The surge of the waves makes my stomach weak. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh. The island ahead keeps a prophet with hands that heal. We will row to our rest.